How We Make Movies is brought to you by Microsoft Surface, Assimilate, Azo and AJA, Moviola, and Canon Hollywood. How were the filmmakers chosen?
Chris chose them.
Yeah.
No one else is responsible but Chris.
So
And it was interesting. Yeah. It was interesting for me because, you know, Dan and I were the second and third people on the project after Chris, and the next step then was Chris saying these are the directors that I want to bring on, and I gave them the script, and they both want to get involved in it, and that isn't typical for a producer to not be involved in picking the director, because as Dan says, typically you'd meet with somebody, and we did. There were some really good directors, that wanted to direct the movie when we had no financing, and we met with guys who said things like, this is the story I want to tell, and like as a producer, like that's the kind of person you that you would connect with. Obviously, you hope that you like their work, but it's like you pick a director who connects with the material as it is right now, and these two, I don't think did, and I think they connected more to the opportunity to make a movie, and I totally get that, and I don't discredit them for that at all. They were able to take the script and find a way to tell their own stories out of it. So that's sort of what Dan said before, which is that they wanted to sort of make their own version of it and put their own stamp on it, which I totally get them doing. I think that makes sense.
And to be fair, we were not involved with the choosing, but I could have not allowed. I technically hadn't sold the script to Chris then at that point before the directors were on board. I could have said,
oh yeah,
no,
true.
But I could have said no. I don't. I'm going to hold out for the integrity of my movie. I'm not going to let these directors make the movie. But it's so hard, as a writer, I had sold some things, but I hadn't got anything made, to get something made. Yeah. And here I was given this opportunity to get a movie made twice, and to be involved with both directors, and I got to be involved. I got to try to get them to put as much as my script, and I went for it. And
it's funny, I was looking at one of the episodes, I think it's 106, when Dan's on set, and this is the first time he's ever been on set before, and it's like learning, we document this in the show, like learning as a writer, how do you give a note to a director? You're sitting there watching and you're like, this isn't the way the scene was written, and like learning to sort of to deal with that. And I think that's a level of intimacy that the show gets into that is really cool. I mean, and in terms of sort of navigating just that that is
Spoiler
difficult.
alert, it's really hard being a writer on set.
Spoiler alert, it was hard. It's hard being a writer, but it's hard. But it's hard being a director. I mean, in that same scene, and it's.
It's a tough scene.
I say scene, but it's
You're
like
talking about the actual scene, not the scene of the film.
Right. I'm talking about the scene of the documentary. But I mean, in that same scene, the director's talking about it's hard to be a director when there's this gaggle of producers and writers talking behind your back at Video Village.
They know best.
Right, and so it's that that learning that set behavior and etiquette and learning how to communicate with the other filmmakers.
And you
is a
guys were
challenge.
all new, so you were all learning together.